3, 2, 1.
Have you ever caught yourself becoming smaller just to make someone else feel bigger? Have you ever stopped posting, stopped speaking, turned down an opportunity, held back from your personality, not because you didn't want it anymore, but because someone else's fears slowly became your limits? I almost did. I didn't almost quit because I stopped believing in my dream. I almost quit because I was afraid my dream might cost someone I loved. And I know I'm not the only one who's ever felt that way. The last few weeks have been incredibly heavy. Grief, change, relationship, being stretched, learning that healing is always, or not always, but it ain't pretty. Somewhere in all that, I started questioning if maybe I should just stop. Maybe stop putting myself out there. Maybe stop speaking. Maybe stop trying to build something. Maybe just become smaller. Welcome back, my beautiful souls, to Becoming with Erika, a place where we heal out loud, grow through what tried to break us, and become everything we are meant to be. If this is your first time listening in, welcome. I am so glad you're here. I'm your host, Erika Caballero, and let's get into it. Recently, I had the opportunity to volunteer cleaning the part of my city. It wasn't glamorous. It wasn't for followers. It wasn't for attention. It was simply people giving up their Saturday morning because they love their community. I showed up, picked up trash, met amazing people, shared the experience because I believe kindness spreads. But what I celebrate, someone else saw differently. However, have you ever had that happen? The miscommunication or the misunderstanding, or it may look one way, but it really was another. Have you ever wondered why someone else's opinion can suddenly become louder than your own? Why one misunderstanding, one comment, one person's insecurity can make us question everything? It turns out our brains has a reason for that. And of course, I love nerding out. Our incredible and intelligent brains are wired for belonging. Thousands of years ago, people rejected from tribes could literally mean death. Because of that, it's almost as if our brain is consistently asking one question. If I become more, will I lose the people I love? That fear can quickly make us shrink ourselves, like a form of self-sabotage. Psycho- Psychologists sometimes calls this silent self-silencing. It's when we hide parts of ourselves to protect a relationship, not because we stop dreaming, but because we're afraid success might cost us connections. Our brain isn't trying to stop us from succeeding, it's trying to keep us from connecting. It's trying to keep us connected. Hello, Erica. Pay attention. Pay attention. Because connection has always been associated with survival. That's why rejection, criticism, or the fear of losing someone can feel so overwhelming. The emotional pain network in our brains overlaps so many of these same regions involved in physical pain. Your brain literally treats social pain like it matters to your survival. Isn't that incredible? God designed us for connections, but fear can convince us that the only way to stay connected is to become smaller. That's wild to me. I mean, wild. Here's what I realized. I wasn't making myself smaller because I stopped believing in my purpose. I was making myself smaller because I loved someone. There's a difference. I know we all do this. I mean, I've heard the stories. I've heard it all. They say it's a scam, or if you put yourself out there, people are going to use you, or you're going to ruin your image, or you're doing it for attention, or that you'll attract the wrong people. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. But love should never require you to abandon who God is calling you to become. Okay, so I know in my past relationship, I stopped believing in myself only because I allowed others in my head to tell me that I wasn't enough or I was too much. I did it for attention or I was tracking the wrong attention. I don't know enough or I think I know too much. I'm too pretty or I'm not that kind of pretty. I'm set I'm setting myself for failure or I don't know what I'm doing. Those things were always an issue in my relationship and it just got worse, you know? And I allow it to. That's the only reason it got worse because I allowed it to. My dreams weren't too big. So instead of asking them to grow with me, I kept shrinking myself to fit inside their comfort zone because I wanted to belong. I made myself smaller just so I could fit in. And that's the thing. My dreams never died, they just stayed alive inside me, waiting for permission to grow. They just remain big inside me, waiting to be released. And when I got into the relationship I'm in now, I was scared to tell him my big dreams because of my past. I knew that that could scare him away and it forced me to be small again. And like that familiar feeling, when you create something inside you and it becomes familiar and safe, like how do you stop that cycle? You change it. But I took a chance, and to my surprise, he was supportive 100% in. Although he didn't know what that was going to look like or how fast I was going to make it happen, it's normal to be afraid on how big my dream is and the things that are involved to creating that dream. I'm going to have to put myself out there, not just meet new people, socialize and networking. That means that new people means new connections, and that could be scary for anybody. And, social media, like, I think that just causes a lot of drama in anybody's relationship, but how it's used and what I guess that's really it. Like, how you use it and how you put yourself out there can cause issues or can build relationships. But I feel that's a whole nother episode. I'll definitely have to do an episode about the challenges of social media and how your brain gets sucked into it. But for now, I think my challenges that are coming across now, I'm thinking maybe I should quit because it's causing, issues in my relationship. And, I'm like, I'm going to lose somebody that I don't want to lose. I really thought, what, maybe this dream is too big and I should just put it to the side. But that's not because of the relationship I'm in. It's because it's a familiar state of mind that I have because of my past relationships. So I have to stop and realize, like, okay, you need to reframe that because you are not your past. And today, people I didn't even know very well had pulled me to the side. They told me they listened to my podcast, that it helps them, that they understand neuroscience because the way I explained it, that they feel calmer listening, that they feel seen. I almost cried. Not because people knew my name, but because they knew my heart. They were talking about downloads, they were talking about healing. And in that moment, I remember why I started, which I realized while I was busy questioning my voice, God was already using it. Oof. Are you serious? Let's say that again. While I was questioning my voice, God was already using it. Maybe that's true for you too. Maybe while you've been questioning whether you're good enough, someone has already been encouraged by your courage. Maybe while you've been wondering if anyone notices, God has already been working through you. I even had like some of my coworkers reach out to me and tell me like they heard my podcast, which is also amazing to hear, that I'm I'm putting things out there and not wondering like is anybody listening? I'm wondering, is this going to impact anybody? And like shared, well, some of my coworkers shared their insight about my podcast, like my friend Megan, my friend Brittany, my friend Star, which I love those ladies to death. Amazing people. And the fact that, their opinion does matter to me because, we're like a family. We're a work family. And the fact that, I'm being saint, Like I'm not just putting a podcast out there to just put it out there. Like I realized something today. I don't want to become rich because of money. I want to become rich because of the impact. Money is important. Money creates opportunity. Money lets us serve people in bigger ways. Money is not my mission. It's simply one of the tools that allows me to fulfill my mission. My mission is bigger than that. It's people, healing, hope, becoming, building a community where we don't make ourselves smaller. We make ourselves bigger as a team, as a support system. I thought to myself, I'm not going to become smaller. I'm going to become bigger. Not bigger in ego, bigger in courage, bigger in love, bigger in faith, bigger in impact. My hope is that people I love grow with me because healthy love doesn't compete with growth, it celebrates it. I want us to say, I don't have to choose between being loved and becoming who God created me to be. For a long time, I thought humility meant hiding, but humility means it isn't hiding your gift, it's using them to serve others. Like Matthew 5:16 says, "Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good work and give glory to the Father in heaven." Notice Jesus never said, "Hide your light so someone else doesn't feel uncomfortable." He said, "Let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." So that's what I want to do. That's my plan. I'm going to let it shine because if I can help one person through every episode, just reach one person, this would be all worth it. Maybe you've been making yourself smaller. Maybe you've been apologizing for your ambition. Maybe you stayed quiet because your growth made someone uncomfortable. Maybe you stopped posting, you stopped applying, you stopped dreaming, you stopped speaking, stopped believing. Can I remind you of something? You don't honor God's calling by hiding it. I don't know exactly where Becoming with Erica is going. I don't know how many people will ever listen. I don't know if I'll ever stand on a TEDx stage. I don't know if I'll ever write a book. I don't know if I'll ever speak to thousands. But I know this: every single person who has ever changed the world started by helping one. And if one person tells me, I finally understand, I finally have hope, I finally believe in myself, then every episode, every late night, every fear, every tear, every doubt will have been all worth it. Don't become smaller because someone else is afraid of your growth. Growth with compassion, grow with humility, grow with love. But don't stop growing because the gift of God placed inside of you was never meant to stay hidden. They were meant to become someone else's prayer. Maybe you are someone's answered prayer, but they'll never know if it stays hidden, which is why I would never change my story. Even though everything that happened to me in my life as growing up wasn't the greatest upbringing, but boy, did it become the greatest outcome. I've learned so much along the way that I know I can share and inspire others to believe in the same way. You can take that control of your life back. You can dream big. You can live the life you deserve. You can become everything you were meant to be. So today, I want to leave you with this: dream the dream, start the business, write the book, launch that podcast, apply for that job, go back to school, volunteer, speak up, love boldly, heal completely, become unapologetically, because the world doesn't need another copy of someone else. It needs the version of you that God intentionally created. And I want to thank you for spending this time with me today. And remember, becoming has never been about becoming famous. It has never been about becoming wealthy. It has never been about becoming better than someone else. Becoming is having the courage to become exactly who God created you to be, so someone else has permission to do the same. So if you've been waiting for a sign, maybe this episode was it. Keep healing out loud, keep growing through what tried to break you, and keep becoming. I love you all, and God bless.